Right, so I've started working now. My job is a wine waiter. This is actually going to be my third season of doing this hotel work. Um, just to give you a little bit more background about me, I had a kind of like midlife crisis about 2 years ago. Um, it's almost 3 years ago now, actually, and I had a major shake-up in life, and I basically closed my business. I ended up breaking up with my relationship, and I ended up kind of moving out of my house. Um, so yeah, that was obviously not a nice thing to happen, but I kind of realized that you know you can set a plan in motion, and what I always wanted was to have a house, have a nice place to stay, and I wanted to get a woman who I could shack up with and grow old with, and maybe have some babies and loads of sex and just a really nice, happy relationship. Um, and I wanted to have a business. I wanted to have a business and just go, you know, power on. Get a business, get a house, get a car, get all that stuff that, the culture scape. That's what Vishen Likiani calls it, the culture scape. But it's basically society. You kind of grow up with this image of what you want your life to be, and that's what I wanted, that's what I got, and then things fell apart. And I realized, wow, how how hectic your whole life can just turn around just like that, easy, pow. So I actually I walked the Camino de Santiago, which is 500 miles. Took me 8 weeks, and then I got a job working in Scotland. I moved in with my grandparents. They were kind enough to take me on board and give me some place to stay. I love those. I love my gran and my uncle Ron, my grand's husband, so much. Anyways, um, ended up working as a bit of a labourer, and then I found this job. I'd actually worked at this hotel about 8 years beforehand, and ended up working at this hotel again. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna just spend some time here, take life a little bit slower, and figure out what can I do that is going to help me to not be so shaken up about things going wrong in the future again. It actually took me about 2.5 years to get over the depression and um, the anxiousness, the insecurities, and I mean, I'm still a little bit insecure about a lot of things. I'm sure we all are. Anyways, moving back on to like sort of trading and where am I right now? So yeah, I'm broke. Had my first paycheck now though. Woohoo! So I basically put as much as I could of that paycheck into my credit card debt. So basically now, poof, my credit card is hopefully not going to be looking as doom and gloom as it has been looking for the last few months. I haven't really put any money yet back into my trading account because I'm not ready. Which kind of just goes back into the next part of the story, which is to say, at the moment I've learned about trading that I cannot go into trading again unless I have a real confident, real secure strategy. And I really am so grateful to this one guy on YouTube. His name's Steve. He runs a channel called The Trading Channel, and if you are interested in learning to trade properly, he's such a fantastic teacher, and his free videos have so much value in the content that it really allowed me to learn what I needed to learn in order to have this major breakthrough that I had. So just a little update for now on kind of this week is to say I'm working again. I've got this belly that I've developed over the last like 6 months. I must have put on about 10 kilos. My face is a little bit more roundy than it used to be. My belly, I can't believe my belly, how much it's grown. It's just crazy. I think my metabolism stopped working. So I'm a fat guy and I'm broke and I'm learning how to trade. And there's a couple of things that I learned this week that I thought I'd just share. I'm not that quick at reading. I never really was quick at reading at all. So what I do is I listen to audiobooks, and this one audiobook, there's actually 2 audiobooks that I've been listening to, a little bit on this one and then a little bit on that one and a little bit on this one, until I got into them both, and they both just captured me. I really got so much incredible value out of listening to these 2 audiobooks. One of them is Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor featured in the movie The Secret. He's the guy who said, with the electricity you can cook the man's dinner and you can cook the man. But yeah, Bob Proctor did this amazing seminar called Born Rich. And the whole seminar is basically, I'm sure it's over a few days, and there's like 8 or 9 different parts to it, and basically it's you pretty much feel like you're sitting in the seat of that seminar whilst you listen to this audiobook. It's just fantastic. And one thing I got out of this particular thing was that this audiobook was that how your past conditioning and your past beliefs that you have about yourself, and most importantly your self-image and how you view your own mind, how do you change those things to align with where you want to be, with what you want to look like and where you want to go and that sort of stuff. I would rate it 5 stars, and what I can say is that I've really understood, and basically I can identify now the patterns, the conditionings, the feelings, the mental, self-talk, all of those things that I've over time just consistently did until they seeped into my subconscious mind. It just became habits, and I'm now able to, with all of their advice obviously and all of their explanations, change that, to make the choice to change that. And I find that when I'm doing that, I just have so much more motivation. I'm able to do things a lot more. Like today, I did my day's work, and then I did a bit of a back workout, and I did some yoga, and that, I really didn't feel like doing it. I didn't. It was like, oh man, I just want to get on my bed. This morning was so hard to get out of bed. Wow. Anyways, I did it, and now I feel great. And that's probably why I'm making this little update video as well, because I feel like that yoga gave me some energy, as well as just when I think about doing something, I think of how I want to be. I think of, anyways, you get the point. Now that also brings me to the other audiobook, which is called The Power of a Habit by Charles Duhigg. I'm sorry, I've obviously said that wrong, but it's Charles D-U-H-I-G-G. Duhigg. Maybe it's Dutch or German. Duhigg. You can tell I actually cheated in my my junior school spelling tests, which is why I struggle reading. Plus, I was dyslexic, so my chances are not very good at this. But I'm gonna give it a bash anyways. But from that habits book, I'm going to just wrap this video, this little episode off, and I'm just going to say, habits, wow, oh my gosh. You know that the amount of studies that have gone into habits that form everything that we do is just incredible. So 2 books, I think are real must-have books. And I just got so much value out of them. Anyways, so moving on, I'm still back testing with my trading. I've got the strategy that I've developed, and I'm back testing it, and it's taking me so long because it's a bit complicated. So if you can figure out a strategy, just simplify it as much as you can. But I just found that the more I back test a strategy, the more I realize that that strategy is so subjective. There's so many times where you're like, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that, maybe I could do this. Once you know that your strategy is so objectified and the rules are so defined that one thing out of place, you do not take the trade. Only when those things line up, you take the trade. And I had all of these emotions because I've done like 18 tests or 20 tests, and I've only taken 4 trades, and out of those 4 trades I only got 12%, and then I lost 6% as well. So I was up 6% in like the first 4 or 5 months of the year using this strategy. And then finally I was thinking to myself, man, the strategy doesn't work. I've made it too complicated and it's too difficult and blah blah blah, and I'm getting all emotional whilst I'm even backtesting. I'm not even trading. And then bam, like 3 trades in a row, I get winners. And on this specific strategy, I take 3 targets, and each one, the one of them, I hit all 3 targets, and my 3rd target is a big target, and then the other 2 hit 1 target and then 2 targets. So it was just like bam, in like 1 week or 2 weeks, I'm now up 24% for that year. And it's just like, wow, you got to just be patient with your strategy, and you got to go through, because you know that by back testing, it's over time that you're going to make the money. And that's all stuff I learned from Steve's channel, so definitely check him out as well. Anyways, that wraps it up. We'll catch up with you next week, and we'll see how we're doing.